Happy Halloween, y'all. This is Spencer Lee, the film/role guy, right back here again, and I'm here to do references to a certain horror movie in Pixar stuff. And of course, y'all read the title. That certain horror movie is, of course, Stanley Kubrick's 1980 film, The Shining, as you can see right here. The first Pixar film to have a reference to The Shining in it is, of course, their first ever film from 1995, that being the original Toy Story. The Shining reference in Toy Story is if you look on the carpet in Sid's apartment, you'll notice that it looks exactly similar to the carpet in the hotel room in The Shining, as you can see by this side-by-side comparison right here. The next Pixar film that has references to The Shining in it is, of course, their 2003 film, Finding Nemo. The first Shining reference in Finding Nemo is in this scene when Bruce is using himself to hit the door. It's kind of mimicking a certain scene in The Shining. And that scene is this scene right here, when Jack Nicholson is using the axe to cut open the door. The second Shining reference in Finding Nemo is in the same scene. In this scene, when Bruce peeks his head through the door and says, "Here's Brucey." That's a line mimicking the line from The Shining, which is, "Here's Johnny," as you can see by this side-by-side comparison right here. The next Pixar film that has references to The Shining in it is the 2010 film Toy Story 3. The first Shining reference in Toy Story 3 is that on the garbage truck's license plate, you can see the number 237. As you can see, the arrow's pointing to it. 237 can also be seen in this scene in Toy Story 3 on Trixie's computer. Right here. As you can see, it says Velocistar 237. 237 refers to the hotel room in The Shining, as you can see by this door tag right here. As you can see by this side-by-side comparison, two of the objects from The Shining can also be seen on the desk where the monkey with symbols sits in Toy Story 3, and both objects are circled in this side-by-side comparison. The tissue box has the same design as the carpet in The Shining, and then we have this other camera-looking thing and the other circle that's also from The Shining. As you can see right here. And here's the other thing. Next up is actually a TV special called Toy Story That Time Forgot from 2014. The Shining reference in Toy Story That Time Forgot is, if you look at the board games, you can see that one of them has the same carpet design from The Shining. Right here, as you can see, it's in the middle. As you can see, the carpet in The Shining and the board game in Toy Story Time Forgot have the same pattern, as you can see right here. The next Pixar film that has references to The Shining in it actually has 3 references to The Shining in it. And that is, of course, their 2017 film, Coco. In this scene in Coco, when Dante is laying down, about to get up to go see Miguel, who is in the attic, in the left-hand corner, you can see the same axe from The Shining. Right here, as you can see. So yeah, as you can see, it's the same axe from The Shining. And in that same scene, you can also see a red drum, as you can see right here, which sounds familiar to a phrase from The Shining. Red rum! Red rum! Which, of course, is murder spelled backwards, as you can see right here. And the third reference to The Shining in Coco is that in Frida Kahlo's house, you can see a painting of what appears to be the Benson twins from The Shining. Right here, as you can see, the painting is circled. Yeah, y'all can see the similarities between the painting of the Benson twins in Coco and the actual Benson twins in The Shining. And here are the actual Benson twins as they looked in The Shining. As you can see right here. And plus, the director of Coco, who's also the director of Toy Story 3, that being Lee Onkridge, this guy, said that The Shining is one of his favorite movies of all time, which explains why Toy Story 3 and Coco both have references to The Shining. The next Pixar movie to have a reference to The Shining in it is the 2019 film Toy Story 4, as you can see right here. The Shining reference in Toy Story 4 is that when Woody, Forky, and Gabby Gabby are talking in the antique store, the record player is playing some music from, you guessed it, The Shining. Which, how ironic that Toy Story 4 came out in 2019, and that also happens to be the same year that Doctor Sleep came out. And Doctor Sleep is basically like the sequel to The Shining. So how ironic. What a coincidence. Spoiler warning from the next one, y'all. In episode 2 of Cars on the Road, there are 4 references to The Shining. And of course, the second episode of Cars on the Road is called Lights Out, as you can see right here. The first Shining reference in Cars on the Road, Episode 2, Lights Out, is that you can see on this store race car spelled backwards in red writing. This is a clear parody of a certain phrase from The Shining. And of course, that phrase from The Shining that scene in Cars on the Road is making fun of is, of course, again, red rum, which, of course, means murder spelled backwards, as you can see right here. The second Shining reference in this episode of Cars on the Road is, of course, these 2 cars right here are, of course, a Car 5 version of the Benson twins. So here are the Benson twins as human beings in The Shining, and here are the Benson twins as cars in the second episode of Cars on the Road. Plus, as an added bonus, the quote that the Car 5 versions of the Benson twins say to Lightning McQueen is, "Come race with us, Lightning," which is a clear parody of the Benson twins telling Danny to come play with them forever and ever and ever. Also, in this episode of Cars on the Road, you can see that the carpet has the same design as the carpet from The Shining once again. So, I think Pixar just loves the carpet design in the hotel in The Shining, because they put it in a lot of their stuff, which is awesome. And of course, for the last Shining reference in the second episode of Cars on the Road, Lights Out, when this elevator starts spilling out antifreeze, it's kind of reminiscent of a certain scene in The Shining. And of course, it's this scene in The Shining. But instead of blood, it's antifreeze in Cars on the Road, Episode 2, Lights Out. Well, y'all, those are all the Shining references I can find in Pixar stuff so far. I might do another video because The Shining is referenced in a lot of movies, so yeah. Just decided to make this video for Halloween today, so happy Halloween, y'all. Even though I'm already, even though I'm mixed on Halloween, and you guys know that from my 2 videos I did. And, yeah. And, yeah, I forgot to say, Cars on the Road came out this year, 2022, on Disney+. And that is why I had to put a spoiler warning. So, yeah, this video was a little hard to make. I'm sorry, you guys, but still. This video was hard to make, so, yeah. Never mind that in the background. So, yeah, and I meant to say Cars on the Road actually has 5 Shining references in that episode, Lights Out. So, yeah. Just to let you all know that. So, yeah. And, yeah. That's about it. So, yeah, Cars on the Road actually had... Cars on the Road Episode 2, Lights Out, actually has 5. So, just to reiterate what I said. Cars on the Road Episode 2 has 5 Shining references in it. And, Cars on the Road came out this year in 2022. That's why I had to... Sorry about that. That's why I had to, make a spoiler warning. So, yeah. And, of course, I might do a video. Like I said, I might do a video of, all the Shining references in all the films I've seen that I could pick out. But, yeah. This is all, so yeah, and I also doing this for Halloween today, y'all. So happy Halloween, and I'll even though again mixed on Halloween, but yeah, go check out those two videos, and yeah, and please like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Even though this video was a hard video to make, believe me, but yeah. So yeah, here it is. So yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more, check out more, and I'll see you guys later for the next video, which will be a news for you guys video.